Isang makakalikasang gabi po sa ating lahat. Welcome back to Miss Earth Crown. To all of our Earthlings from the Philippines and around the world, maraming salamat for being here. At nakakatuwa, grabe, when I was playing the opening videos, marami na kagad comments coming from the fans. Maraming salamat po for the usual support. Again, this is Noy Sabelano, the Chief Correspondent of Miss Earth Crown. How are you today? Pakilagay naman po sa comment section. At sino ba ang inaabangan ninyong candidate from Miss Philippines Earth 2021? Kasi meron kaming special treat para sa inyo. Usually we have two guests in one episode. Pero for tonight, we have not just one, not just two, pero three. Three special guests in our Power Saturday episode. Bakit nga ba Power Saturday? Because Earthlings, ang ating mga guests ay super powerful women in their own right. At malalaman nyo kung bakit later on. Because I'm gonna introduce them one by one. Starting off with our candidate from Angeles City. Let's all welcome Gail Ventic. Hey Gail. Good evening.
Hi po. Good evening, Sir Noy.
Good
How
evening.
are
Gail Ventic
you?
from I'm doing great. Thank you so much. And of course, ang hindi naman magpapahuli ang aking fellow Manilenya from Manila, Sarah Margaret Hoson. Hello.
Hi, Sir Noy. Good evening. Hi, Gail. Good evening, and good evening to all the
Hi.
viewers of Miss Earth Crown. Good evening to everyone.
And there you go. And of course, ang ating third guest, no? Very special to kasi this is our very first trio episode for Miss Earth Crown. Ang ating guest from Tanay Rizal, Sofia Galve. Hi, Sofia.
Hi, good evening, Sir Noy. Good evening, Gail and Sarah.
Yan, ito na
Good
po ang ating
evening.
trio episode for Miss Earth Crown, Earthlings. Sino ba ang inaabangan ninyo for tonight? Pakalagay naman sa ating comment section kasi girls, grabe, ang comments, hindi magkaumayaw ang ating technical team para i-flash kung sino ang ating unang i-flash. Ang daming comments coming from the fans. Let's have first, ito, this is one shout out from Manila. Ayan. Si Criselda Hoson, I think, very familiar para kay no, Sarah? Hello daw. Ayan. We also have coming from, for someone for Angeles City. Ayan, si Lian Orea Arines is also saying hi. And of course, hindi magpapahuli ang ating mga supporters ng Tanay Rizal. Let me just, grabe kasi nag-flow talaga yung comments, hindi ko siya ma-flash. Ayan, si Richard Deang is saying hi for Tanay Rizal. Ayan. So para sa ating mga fans, continue placing your comments because in a little bit, I'm going to do the one-on-one spot with our candidates for Miss Philippines Earth. Starting off with our beautiful Gail Ventic. So for now, I'm gonna ask Sarah and Sofia to turn off their camera because meron silang spot in a little bit. There you go. Maraming salamat. Ayan, see you in a bit, ladies. Now let's have our first spot with the beautiful Gail Ventic. Gail, first of all, kamusta ang buhay-buhay natin now that you are, I think it's officially the Miss Philippines Earth Miss Philippines Earth season because it's already July. So how
Yes
is
po.
everything with you right now?
Well, so far so good po, sir. It's fun. The journey has been fun. Although the schedule has been hectic, especially because of the deadlines po. But so far, I am enjoying it. And I get to go and travel to places, experience Angeles City in a much bigger scale.
There you go. Definitely, no? Kasi alam naman natin na very, let me just put myself in that stream too, no? Very hectic talaga, no? In such a way na ang daming activities na pinapagawa ng Miss Philippines Earth, right?
Yes, that's true, sir.
Okay. Now, definitely, I want to find out first, sino ba si Gail Ventic before the competition? I mean, sino ba si Gail before Miss Philippines Earth? Anong ginagawa mo sa buhay mo? What were the things that most people know about you that many Earthlings right now do not know about you outside the world of pageantry? Kamusta ka naman? Ano ang life before Miss Philippines Earth?
Well, basically po si Gail before, I used to be a full-time traveler. I've traveled the
Mm.
world and seen so many different places po. I think I've been to 4 different continents and almost 30 countries. And by,
Wow.
by being able to do so po, I was able to experience both the beauty of the earth and as well as the pollution that it comes with. And then fast forward po, during the pandemic, I was one of the millions of Filipinos who lost their jobs due to the
Mm-hmm.
economic crisis here in the Philippines. That experience for me was really a setback. It took a huge toll on me financially, emotionally, spiritually. But I tried to be as resilient as possible po. So started my own businesses. I co-founded different businesses that are eco-friendly, which is actually related to my advocacy of sustainable ecopreneurship. That is why even before the Miss Earth, I have been living my advocacy. I have been trying to promote this advocacy. So these businesses po are my little initiatives in order for me to help not only the economy but as well as the environment as well.
Exactly. Alam mo,
Mm-mm.
Earthlings, kaya ang ating episode for tonight is called Power Saturdays because again, these women, my God, they're gonna blow your minds with how powerful and how self-sufficient and how empowered they are in terms of what they do and what they advocate for. Sige, Gail, let's
Thank you
talk
po.
about that. You're welcome. Let's talk about a little bit yung iyong business, okay?
Yes po.
And you mentioned that you started this business even before Miss Philippines Earth, which means
Yes
this
po.
has been with you for a long time already, perhaps. And I saw in your post, I think on Facebook, parang meron kang award or something for that
Yes po.
business.
Yes
Can you
po.
tell us how did it start for you? And
Yes po.
definitely, kapag sinabing business, you have a choice of what specific business you wanted to do, di ba? Pero
Yes
bakit
po.
itong specific business na ito ang gusto mong ang pinursu mo as
Yes
an
po.
entrepreneur?
Yes po. Well, yes po. I actually co-founded both two different businesses,
Mm-hmm.
both of which are eco-friendly. The first one is called the Eco Wash. The other one is called the Eco Courier. So from the word itself, parehas po silang eco. The Eco Wash actually is a business that mainly focus on water conservation. So that is what we advocate about. So it is a car wash in a bottle. So basically we cut down the use of water whenever you wash your car from 90 gallons down to 50 liters. So that is something that I really am passionate about. It started actually po during the pandemic lang, wherein it used to be a car wash business. And then I learned and I realized that because of the pandemic, because of the lockdown, there is the need for you to shift your business into a product business. And that for
Mm-hmm.
me is the perfect way to advocate it, water conservation and as well as embracing sustainability, especially during the pandemic. Really have to
Mm-hmm.
embrace sustainability po. The other business, on the other hand, is called the Eco Courier. So it is
Mm-hmm.
a courier service. It basically is an app wherein
Okay.
you yes po. So instead of us employing carbon emitted vehicles such as motorcycles and cars that harms the environment, we actually employ bicycle riders. Because I believe that
Ang
bicycle riders
galing.
Yes, well, bicycle riders is the most eco-friendly way of transportation, especially if you're just gonna deliver parcels from point A to point B, go back and forth. Imagine all of the carbon that is being emitted just because of your order online. So those are my little initiatives to help, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm really thinking of different eco-friendly ideas, eco-friendly businesses that are 0 to 1. Something that would
Yeah.
change the environment, the world, and make it a better place, one step at a time.
You know what?
Yun po.
This is so impressive, Gail, because I haven't really met someone who was able to create like a business, dalawang business, not just one, but two businesses na talagang intentionally eco-friendly. I want to find out where did it start for you? Because of course, I know other business owners, myself, they when they mentioned about how did they started their business, I think they mentioned that it has been with them since they were young. I mean, the business mindset and what
Yes.
kind of business they want to pursue has been with them since they were very young. Was it the same thing for you? Was it the same story for you? Maybe you can tell us the story behind that.
Well, when I was in college, Sir Ron, I used to be a medical scientist. That was my original profession. But after graduation, I
Wow.
realized that I'm actually into business more. So that's why I enrolled to a continuing education program at the University of the Philippines, Open University, focusing more on entrepreneurship, personal entrepreneurial development, and things like that. So those are my background when it comes to businesses. Thank you so much to that school. And then afterwards, after studying, I traveled the world and I've seen a lot of different business opportunities that I could take from abroad and take it here in the Philippines. Say, for example, the e-career business. The first time that I've seen a career service that is using bicycles is at Germany. So in Europe, all of them
Mm.
are actually, yes po, they're actually very fond of riding their bikes as opposed to, I haven't seen people using cars or motorcycles in Europe. So they often ride bikes or they often ride train system, which I believe is the main reason why the environment and the air there is not really as polluted as here in
Mm-hmm.
the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
Yes
So, ano
po.
pala talaga? So again, that was a real indication that your own personal experiences, they actually harness the things that you aspire for in the future. Like for example, being a traveler yourself and how you've been exposed to like things in Germany actually cultivated the things that you wanted to like pursue in the future as well. That is
Yes
really
po.
powerful and really
Thank-
inspiring. And
Yes
pero
po.
Gail, one thing that I noticed when I watch your videos, ito kasi pinapanood ko yung mga videos niyo every now and then, no. You're so soft-spoken. Napakahinhin, malumanay, pero napaka-powerful ng background no, medical scientist. Do people get confused why you're like mahinhin in one side and then you're just powerful businesswoman on the other end? Tell us a story behind that.
Well, I feel like being manhinhin is rooted from my being Kapampangan and as well as
Mm,
Provinciana, that vibe.
correct.
So, me being in a male dominated business, I really have to step it up a notch and try to make them feel okay, even though I'm a girl, I can really do something for the business world and as well as the entire world as well. That is why I feel like Miss Philippines Earth is a really good platform for me to really magnify my voice because even though I'm a mainhen, I have something to say and I have a story to tell, which I feel
Mhm.
like would really be relevant, especially now during the pandemic po. Opo.
Exactly. And a story to tell you're going to share with us more in a little bit. My gosh, first guest pa lang ito, ladies and gentlemen. Powerful na kagad in so many ways. Thank you, Gil Ventic, for sharing a little bit of your story with us. But
Thank
now
you po.
it's time, yeah, you're welcome. It's time to move from Angeles City down to my city. Okay, aking fellow Manileño. Let's all welcome back Sarah Margaret Hoson and Gail. We'll see you in a little bit. Maraming salamat for sharing. Ayan, eto na. Kay fellow Manileño, kamusta na Sarah?
Hi, Sir Noy. Okay naman. Nagkaroon ng chance para magkaroon ng rest during the weekend because yun nga, may work kasi ako plus the competition itself pa.
Correct, correct. Again, personally, Earthlings, I am so excited to see Miss Manila dahil ako nga ay pure-blooded Manileño.
Oh,
Ako
same,
talaga ay ano,
same.
go Manila!
Proud,
Go
proud
Manila!
Manila born place. So, I'm really proud.
Ako po ay Manila boy by heart. And of course, si Sarah is a Manileña. Saan exactly in Manila are you living right now?
So, I'm living in Pedro Hill, Manila right now.
Pedro
So,
Hill, Manila.
pa with my grandparents. So, they're living in that
Mm-hmm.
specific area na up to us and even to the generations to come pa with my nieces and nephews. And actually, it's so fun to share lang, no? Sir Noy, kasi we are living in an extended family house. So meaning meron kaming 9 rooms inside the house. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a 3-floor house and then every door kasi ang nakatira is yung mga uncles and aunties ko together with my cousins. So lumaki
Mm-hmm.
tama, imagine my father kasi they are 11.
Oh
So
my
it's
God.
dami na house and it's very fun and sobrang nakakatuwa to grow up with your cousins together with your aunties and uncles. So very rooted yung family ties talaga namin.
Correct. Alam mo talaga, Sarah, I should agree, no? Kasi kapag talagang pag yung mga Manila family stories, napaka-fascinating talagang
Yes,
pakinggan.
Yes,
No, yung
exactly.
mga
Mhm.
now I also read in one of your posts sa iyong Facebook page na talagang yung pagiging Manilenya mo has also contributed to who you are as a person and who you are
Yeah.
as a candidate to Miss Philippines Earth. Maybe you
Mhm.
can share the story behind that naman. Ano yung connection ng pagiging Manilenya mo, na pure-blooded Manilenya in your cause and in your crusade as Miss Philippines Earth candidate?
So, whenever I join pageants, no, I'm always doing the hashtag Manila born and raised because I'm rooted here, and siguro it started because of my papa. He's a former barangay chairman, and his love for the community gave me the idea to have that heart na rooted talaga for kung ano yung kung saan ka nakabelong. So siguro talaga kahit saan ako mapunta or kahit saan ako may kausap, I'm always saying that I'm from Manila and I will not be ashamed of that. Kaya sobrang yun yung nakaka-proud that yun lang, ewan ko, there is something with the Manilenya, yung word na yon na sobrang nakaka-proud, and yun, lagi ko lang siya talagang sinasama sa name ko na, oh, I'm from Manila and I'm very proud of it. So, parang ganun.
Correct. And you know what, Sarah? Another Manileño is watching right now. Ang aming EIC, Mark Ligatchalian. Ang
Sabi nga niya,
editor-in-chief
Miss
ng
Manila from
Manila rin siya. Actually, kapit-bahay ko lang siya. Nandito siya sa kabilang bahay. Pwede siyang pumunta dito kung gusto niya.
Actually,
Hello,
one right
Mark Lee.
other. So, we're one right
Aya.
to each other.
Correct. Mark Lee, pwede natin puntahan si Sarah sa Pedro Hill kapag free
Yes.
tayo, di ba? Ayan. Now, maybe let's talk more about yung sinabi mo na yung when you join pageants, talagang your being Manilenya has been like a brand for you.
Mhm.
Okay? Now let's talk more about yung other side ni Sarah, which I think you're part of DTI, di ba?
Yes, yes.
Oh,
And
di ba? Ano naman experience? Again, guys, that's the reason why Power Saturdays itong episode na to, no? Dahil Manilenya and she's part of DTI. Tell us a story behind that. Paano ka nasama sa DTI? And ano experience? Ano yung ginagawa mong trabaho sa DTI?
Maybe before we go to DTI, I will further go to the background pa, no? So, I'm a former ang kabataan chairperson of Manila. So, nabanggit ko nga kanina that my father was a former barangay captain. And when I was a kid, I'm always saying to myself na gusto ko paglaki ko, kagaya ako ng papa ko because I've seen his efforts, I've seen his selflessness towards the service talaga for other people eh. Kasi, you know what, Sir Noy, before, ang ganda ng trabaho ng papa ko. I'm not saying naman na hindi maganda na mag-work para sa barangay, but then, this is for the benefit of letting you know the background, no? Kasi, 4 months before yung papa ko, and then, sinabi niya na sa sarili niya na magre-resign siya because he thinks kailangan siya dun sa barangay namin. And nung bata ako, hindi ko pa naiisip na bakit kailangan mong mag-resign kasi ang ganda na ng work mo. And then nung nakikita ko na siya na talagang he's giving his all to give his service to other people. Alam nyo, talaga nakasarado na yung pintuan ng bahay namin. May kakatok pa kasi may nangailangan ng tulong. And ito pa yung nakakatuwa kasi papa ko na mismo yung barangay chairman pero may mga kailangan dalahin for emergency. Siya yung nagda-drive ng multicab. And medyo nagkaroon talaga ng impact sa life ko, and then sinabi ko sa kanya talaga na pag gusto ko paglaki ko maging kagaya mo. That's why during that very moment na pwede na akong tumakbo as SK chairperson, sabi ko sa kanya, pa, if you're giving me the permission to run, tatakbo talaga ako because meron talaga akong goal, and that is to be like you. So during that time na tumakbo ako as SK chairperson, inilatag ko sa mga tao sa ano yung mga gusto kong mangyari sa amin. So, you know what, Sir
Correct.
Noy, during my time as SK chairperson, nakapag-produce ako ng mga school supplies, nakapag-produce ako ng, ito yung nakakatawa kasi I have a picture in Facebook na meron akong trash bin way back from 2012 pa, but up until now is being used pa rin sa barangay namin with my name still on it. So, imagine, taon na yun na nando doon. And during the time na SK ako, nagkaroon kami ng anti-drug campaign, and ang speaker ko during that time, sobrang nilakas ang loob ko to get Pastor Dolphy Jr., if you know him, anak So, kinuha ko siya kasi very colorful yung background niya. So, dahil mayaman sila, yung dad niya is in the industry, nagkaroon siya ng problem with drugs, ng addiction. But then, naging pastor siya. So, kinuha ko siya para magsalita sa community namin to talk about his life, his journey, para ma-motivate yung mga kabataan sa amin. Imagine me being a 17-year-old girl.
Correct.
That step para lang ma-push ko yung mga kapwa ko kabataan to do such great things. And kasi nga, lagi kong sinasabi sa sarili ko na hindi ko man maging kagaya yung papa ko, at least kahit paano, matulungan ko siya dun sa kung ano yung goal niya. Kasi during the time, we are not after the money. Kasi eto pa po, ang nakakatuwa, kasi akala nila may kaya kami sa buhay, hindi nila alam na may tindahan kami, sari-sari store. And yung sari-sari store ng mama ko yung bumubuhay sa aming 5 magkakapatid. Kasi yung papa ko nasa barangay lang siya. So talagang pinakita lang din sa amin ng parents namin yung selflessness. Talagang if you're giving your all for the service, may mga babalik talaga sa'yo eh. And yun yung pinaghugutan ko para paglaki ko pa, meron pa akong mga greater goals na gustong i-achieve. Yun yung time na nag-a-apply ako for other positions na sa government. Kasi lagi kong sinasabi, gusto kong mag-work sa government for the people. Kasi it's the goal naman talaga. And if your goal is very clear, if your goal is clean talaga, 100% clean, ibibigay sa'yo Lord. Kasi background of the story, last year ako nag-apply under DTI Philippines. And ang nakakatawa pa is, I applied for another position, not the position that I have right now. I applied monitoring division. So this is funny because during the interview and then when they saw the curriculum vitae, they said that, oh, you joined beauty pageants pala. How come you wanted to be part of the monitoring division, which are those people going out? So I told them that, you know what, ma'am, I'm very since I know myself very well, I'm very effective when it comes to interpersonal connection. If it's physical connection, like when you're talking to person. And then they said that, no, because you know what, based on your curriculum vitae, you should be here inside the office. And then sabi ko, I cannot stay here in front of the computer with just limited things to do. And, you know, you can burst out yung kung ano yung kaya mo pa. Yung may ma-push ka pa beyond the computer. And hindi nila ako tinanggap.
Oh my God! Dahil doon.
Yes, kasi nga daw, sinabi nila na, no, we cannot accept you for this position kasi hindi ka pwede for the monitoring. So, days pass, months pass. Nagulat ako, February of this year, tumawag sa akin yung secretary ni Yusik Ruth. Ito para lang din sa kaalaman ng lahat. I have no connections to anyone. I have no mutual friends to anyone inside DTI Philippines. Ang tumawag sa akin, secretary ni Yusik Ruth Castelo. And then, during the Zoom meeting, she said that she saw my CV. And he saw that I have backgrounds with the politics, with government.
Okay,
And then she told me na, you know what, they didn't get you for the monitoring division. Nahiya sila sa'yo. And then sabi ko, ma'am, you know, hindi naman nakapili ng work because I really wanted to work. Tsaka during the pandemic, mamimili ka ng trabaho. It's not
correct.
It's not really worth the pagod for the interview itself. And then sinabi niya, why not working for the Policy and Advocacy Bureau? And then you try it.
Perfect.
If you don't want to do it, then try the monitoring division. And then during those times, and they've been stalking me on Facebook, and then they saw me hosting, doing events, and then we are doing in Advocacy and Policy Division, we are doing the webinars for the consumer.
Napapanood ko nga yun. Consumer webinars.
Yes, they said that, you know what, we're you to host our webinars, and it's every Tuesday and every Thursday.
Yes.
We have, you know, e-forums, we have big gatherings through Zoom, and you will be a big help to the bureau. And then I said to myself that, okay, let's try this, because you know, if you don't love yourself naman, if you don't love your work naman, hindi ka naman magtatagal. But then when I was there, talagang na-expose ako with policies, with bills, and then na kailangan ako dito, especially during Miss Earth, and then part of different technical working groups when it comes to the bills na may kinalaman with the environment. So I'm very happy that I've been exposed to such things kasi nga akala ko trabaho lang yun ng attorneys, trabaho lang yun ng legal. Pero yung binigyan ka ng pagkakataon na, Sarah, pwede ka bang gumawa ng position paper regarding this draft bill? Sabi ko, wow, it's an opportunity for me. Not just to know it, but to learn from it. Sabi
Galing.
ko,
Ang galing.
sobrang in-embrace ko yung work ko. That's why during the time na nagpaalam ako kay Music na I gathered all my strength to tell her that I joined Miss Philippines Earth. You join as long as hindi mo makabayaan yung work mo, you join. Sabi niya sa akin ganun. Kasi yan naman yung pinanggalingan mo eh. Ako naman yan. So basta wag mo pabayaan yung work mo, makakapagpasok ang accomplishment reports mo, you join. So
Yan.
sobrang nakakatuwa lang kasi of course, meron ng blessing from the boss. Kaya
Yes, yes.
maayos yung Miss Philippines Earth and of course yung work ko.
There you go. Ay, guys, grabe. Public servant ang ating Miss Manila, Miss Philippines Earth Manila. Grabe. This is so inspiring because ako rin coming from a background na I've been raised by two government employees as well. Yung tatay ko GSIS, yung nanay ko from Dole. Na parang I don't know kung if it's the same thing for you Sarah. Parang iba yung upbringing din kapag government workers or public servants yung mga magulang. May certain sense of of pride as well that your parents are also working for the government, no? Anong para sa iyo doon?
Actually, alam mo, Sir Noy, the pride itself, it's because of kung ano yung nagagawa nilang tulong.
Exactly.
Not because of, alam niyo yung tatay ko malaking sahod. No way, hindi yun yung
Hindi.
Ang lagi kong sinasabi, you know what? My papa's in the service for almost 3 decades. Yung pride ko as a daughter, grabe, nag-uumapaw na pag tinanong nila, ano bang nagawa ng papa mo? Because sige, pumunta ka sa amin para malaman mo. You know, the pride. So parang sa akin, there is really something if you are giving your full service to others. And right now, talagang the way ito kasi, para talagang lagi may pinaglalaban. Kasi, kami ng mga siblings ko, ulila na kami. So, I always talk to other people with pride when we are talking about our parents. Kasi nga, syempre the legacy, we want to continue it. That's why whenever we are talking about them, lagi namin pinapakita or parang ini-instill sa ibang tao na ganito kami pinalaki ng parents namin kahit wala na sila.
Exactly.
So, nakaka-proud lang.
Yan. Ayan. So again, ang dami nating napag-usapan. Sarah, my God, again, second guest pa lang yan. But Sarah, thank you so much for sharing a little bit your story. So, from an entrepreneur to a public servant raised by a barangay captain, two powerful women ang napag-usapan natin. Now, we're gonna move on to our third special guest. Sarah, maraming salamat. Now, we're going to move on to from Manila, Tanay Rizal naman tayo. Okay? Mamaya pag-usapan natin more, Sarah, iyong story.
Yes.
Let's all welcome Sofia Galve. Hi, Sofia. Miss Tanay
Hello,
Rizal.
good evening, Sir Noy.
Ayan,
Yes,
gisingin
thank you,
natin
Sir Noy, for having us.
Of
Yes.
course, you're welcome. Gisingin
Hi,
natin ang mga
everyone.
tiga Tanay Rizal. Ayan, sige, siguro batiin muna natin yung mga tiga Tanay kasi ang dami nilang naghihintay para sa'yo, Tanay Rizal. Ayan,
Yes.
tingnan natin dito. Actually, isa sa mga avid viewers namin, si Tin, ay inaabangan ka na
Yes
kanina
po.
pa. Ayan, and also, of course,
Yes, my head admin, Ate Tin.
ayan,
Hello.
hello, si Tin ay nanonood na ngayon. And of course, your other special supporters for Miss Philippines
Yes
Earth.
po.
Ngayon naman, eto rin, napaka-interesting din ang background nitong si Sofia Galve. Because, again, before I do my interviews, I really read about you ladies and then find out more about your background. Napaka-fascinating din ang background mo. Pero before that, sino ba si Sofia Galve outside pageantry when you were still growing up? How was Sofia Galve? What's the story behind you?
Sofia Galve was and still is an idealist. So before po, when I was a kid, I dreamed of a lot of things. I wanted to become a lot of things. When I was 8 years old, I wanted to become a scientist. When I was in high school, I wanted to become a journalist. And then towards the end of my high school, I wanted to become a public servant as well, a politician maybe, or maybe a political analyst. And so when I was signing up for my college applications, I checked political science as one of my preferred courses. My first actually is physics. I love physics, but math doesn't agree with me. So I didn't pass in physics at the University of the Philippines, Diliman, but I did pass for political science, which is also another quota course, and I loved it there. Still in college, I was still an idealist, so I kept on striving for more, and then in the middle of it, I just decided I want to switch to speech communication because it's the closest thing I can get to both journalism and theater acting. So those are my two
Mhm.
passions, actually. And I wanted to mix the two of them together. And I found that home in the Department of Speech Communication and Theater Arts at UP.
Mhm. Okay, yun pala ang naging background mo. Ang tanong ko
Yes.
naman ngayon, Sofia, paano ka naman napunta sa current involvement mo? Because, ladies and
Mm,
gentlemen, ito pong si Sofia Galve ay managing partner ng isang eco park. Saan ka
yes.
pa? My God, hindi lang po siya basta worker, managing partner po siya, meaning siya ay isa sa
Yes
mga
po.
co-founders.
Yes, I am.
Ano yung story behind that? Tell us the beginnings of your
Mm.
eco park na ngayon sa Sofia.
Okay. So actually, it was a spur of the moment thing. You would think
Mm,
that for a person who is trying to plan for a glamping site such as ours, it's like a resort. You would
correct.
think that this has been in the works for a long time, but it has not been that way. We actually just thought of this last year. So
Mm,
prior to becoming a co-founder of our eco park, I was actually one of the co-founders as well of another startup, which is a content marketing firm here in the Philippines. And when I was there, I wrote for a lot of companies from here in the Philippines and across Asia, and some clients from Europe and America. And I was also able to contribute to a US published book. So
mm,
I am an internationally published writer, and
galing.
I never thought that in the middle of it all I would also, I think that's a story of my life. I have so many passions. I just switch from one thing to another. So before the pandemic ended, I exited my startup, and then I went on to planning this eco park with my friends. So there's three business partners in this, and I'm actually currently serving as the chief operating officer. And
Wow.
all of this actually came from the desire to bring people to Tanay, because Tanay is such a wonderful place. I myself am an adoptive daughter of Tanay. So when I went to Cayabo, Barangay Cayabo in Tanay last year, I just really fell in love with the place, with the environment. The forests are really alive, and they are still rehabilitating it, and that is the beautiful thing about Tanay. Even though their nature is really already beautiful, our LGU is still very active in reinvigorating it and rehabilitating the Kaliwa Watershed Forest Reserve. And
Mm,
so I was very inspired by the beauty of our environment, that I wanted to share it with the rest of the people of the Philippines. And so we went on to plan this. Actually, just today, around 2 p.m. in the afternoon, I was actually talking to the head of the IPMR, or the Indigenous Peoples
wow,
Management.
galing.
Yeah, I was talking to the head of the Dumagats in our barangay Kayabu. So we were talking about the plans. They really liked our proposal because it really gives back to the community and to the environment. So yeah, I think it's really just the beauty of the place that inspired me to
Mhm.
become an ecopreneur.
Yes, again, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, Earthlings, so talagang you can see how different and like varied ang background ng ating tatlong guests, pero how powerful each of these ladies are, and how deeply rooted their advocacies and the work that they do in what
Mm-hmm.
they are, what they were as a young kid. Sophia naman, I'd like to find out, no, exactly what is your advocacy na deeply connected sa
Mm-hmm.
iyong current na ginagawa as a CEO? Again, hindi pa lang pala basta-basta managing partner, CEO, ladies and gentlemen, si Sofia. Ano naman ang iyong ipo-pursue as an advocacy na connected sa iyong ginagawa as a CEO of the Eco Park?
hmm So mine is actually also sustainable ecopreneurship, same as Gail's. Mine is
Mm-hmm.
just a little bit different in the way we work as a business. Hers is
Mm-hmm.
more product based. Ours is more ecotourism based. So my advocacy is actually again sustainable ecopreneurship. I wanted to create this kind of circular economy within our barangay in Kayabu. A
Mm-hmm.
circular economy means we're trying to, so we're developing, or we are generating revenue and profit, and that's going to trickle down to all of the people in our barangay, and we're, it's a circular economy. We're going to be able to use those revenues to make our LGU in Barangay Kayabu prosper even more. So
Mm-hmm.
one of the programs that I wanted to do really is to create something out of nothing, and that is a
Mm-hmm.
vermicomposting system that I wanted to develop once we start construction. So, what is this vermicomposting system? So basically, we will have a mini restaurant or a mini cafe in our eco park, and of course,
Mm-hmm.
tourists will be bringing in their biodegradable wastes. So, for example, food waste, banana peelings, for example, orange peelings, all of those
Mm-hmm.
biodegradable wastes, we will put it in a vermicompost system. Basically, worms will digest them and produce fertilizers. The fertilizer, we will be able to use that for the greenhouse project that we're creating. And
Mm-hmm.
that greenhouse will actually be managed by the indigenous peoples of Barangay Cayabo.
Ang
It will not be managed
galing.
by us. We will just provide the place for them, the greenhouse for them, even the seedlings for the crops that they want to produce. We will be providing all of those, but they will be the one to take care of those crops, and they will also be the one who will profit from those crops. So it's going to be a farm to table kind of thing. So
Galing.
they will be using the fertilizers that we're making from the biodegradable wastes, and in turn their crops, Tagpuan Eco Park will be the one to purchase those. And hopefully, if the scale is bigger, hopefully we will be able to switch it into a bigger marketplace. For example, if we can also bring it to other parts of the Philippines, the crops that our IPs will produce. So that is the
Wow.
kind of circular economy that I really want to inspire in our barangay, in our municipality, and hopefully soon with the whole Philippines.
You know what? This is a really wonderful thing that you're sharing right now, no? Kasi not all people realize the deep connection between environmental protection and indigenous culture. Maybe shortly lang,
Uh-huh.
Sofia, bakit ba importante that we understand the deep connection between indigenous culture and environmental protection, especially here in the Philippines?
Okay. That is a very interesting question because, Filipinos are not really aware of the
Mm,
indigenous cultures we have here. And, actually, the indigenous peoples are our stewards for environmental
exactly.
protection.
Exactly.
Yeah, they are the frontliners, actually. If we have doctors and nurses as frontliners in this pandemic, we actually have the IPs as our frontliners against, environmental destruction, because they are
Galing.
on the sites that get the most destruction, for example, from other corporations. So, for example, a lot of the dumagats, they actually came from the dagat, from the seas. They flee to the mountains. So they were called dumagat remontados by the Spaniards. And
Mm-hmm.
so when they started becoming acclimated to the mountains, they become the number one protectors of those. So if you're actually going to Tanay, if you're, for example, in our barangay, if you're going to hike in our three mountains, Angat, Kayabu, and Maynuba, you will be able to experience a wonderful interaction with our IPs, because they will tell you about all of the plants that are in our mountain. So, for example, they told us about the rattan. The rattan actually is one of
Mm-hmm.
our biggest industries in Tanay. And for all of you guys who want to know more about the role of our indigenous peoples in environmental protection, I actually have I'm gonna plug. I actually have an upcoming. I will launch this soon. An interview with the one and only Cara David. So she's my
Wow,
idol.
galing.
she was my professor in broadcast journalism in UP, and I was inspired to do this kind of series because I were friends on Facebook. I always see that while she's actually from Antipolo, she always goes to Tanay to bike or to cycle, and it's really very inspiring because it's a journalist. It's an award-winning journalist who's visiting our places, And she
Mm.
also has this documentary from 2008 about the Sierra Madre and the Dumagats. And I
Mm.
hope you guys can tune into my YouTube channel soon. So I'm gonna launch that soon.
Definitely. You know what? If you need help from MEC to promote and plug that, that's a really interesting content. We're gonna help you with that, Sofia, no? But for now, you know what?
Thank
Grabe.
you.
Very fascinating din yung story nitong babae na to. Ladies and gentlemen, Diyos ko po, buhay pa ba kayo, Earthlings, sa mga tatlong power women natin? Because right now, thank you so much, Sofia, for sharing a little bit no, yung iyong
Thank
story.
you.
Right now, we're bringing back our of course three, this time in one frame ang ating three candidates for Miss Philippines Earth. Let's all welcome back si Gail Ventic of Angeles City, and of course si Sarah of Manila. Ayan, sama-sama na, walang sawang ating mga Earthlings kaka-comment, my gosh, because they are really into the conversations that we have just had today. Right now, I want to find out naman, syempre, we've already found out about your advocacy, about your background. Again, Gail being, an entrepreneur, like a traveler herself. Of course, public servant, si Miss Manila. And of course, isa ring managing partner and CEO si Sofia Galve. Ano naman ngayon ang mga things that you are preparing for, or the things that you've been doing so far in Miss Philippines Earth? Starting off with Gail. Gail, may gusto ko itanong sa'yo, no? Because I watched your talent competition. Napanood niyo ba yung talent itong si Gail?
Yes.
Diyos ko po, sumasabit sa puno ang babaeng ito. Kamusta naman yung experience, Gail? At ano naman naisip mo na gano'n ang gawin mong talent, sumabit sa puno and everything? Sige, go.
Well, it really has been my dream to be po talaga maging circus stunt. Charot, joke lang. Pero, kidding aside po, it was a collaboration of everyone po from Pampanga, really. Videographers, choreographers, and the idea itself was rooted from my beliefs that we need to focus on the environmental degradation part. So I featured the four different elements, the air pollution. Yung sabit po is symbolizing the air pollution na nasabit ako doon, parang ganon. And then the air, me swimming in the ocean full of plastic bottles, full of trash. And then the
Correct.
fire, destruction. And then after all of those, in the ending, sa Earth na po, parang life. I am Mother Nature, Mother Earth. We still have hope. We have to fight for life and the Earth. So yun po, I really wanted to portray that message, and hopefully through that video, through that presentation, we were able to do it and be able to touch the hearts of the viewers po.
Yeah, kasi alam mo, actually, napanood ko yung video na yun. Sabi ko, grabe, production value talaga. Kung production value. And the editing, the editing was really impressive. Like the transitions from one element to the next, it was really impressive. Si Miss
Thank
Manila
you.
naman, you're welcome. Miss Manila naman, ang napansin ko naman sa iyong mga content, talagang really Manila made. Purely Manila ang iyong mga content. Specifically, yung talent mo rin, the video, I think, if I'm not mistaken, was shot in Arroceros Park
Yes,
in
exactly.
Manila, which is considered the last lung of Manila. Ano naman yung
Yes.
story behind that, Sarah?
So, with the talent, ang nag-create po nun is yung choreographer ko from PUP. So, I've been since I was a kid eh. And then, during my college days, so I'm part of the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Power of Student Hopper. So, we're dancing hip-hop talaga during the college days.
Ay, dancer pala ito.
Yes. So, when my choreographer asked my other crewmates if they wanted to join me for the talent, lahat sila yes, even though may mga kanya-kanya na silang work, may kanya-kanya na silang buhay. So I'm very happy talaga na pinagbigyan nila ako. Kasi nakita nyo talagang production kami. We were 11 sa talent competition.
Yes.
I'm just so happy na nakasama ko sila ulit, and it's a reunion for us na rin.
Correct. Again, nakakatuwa lang isipin na kahit papaano, no, parang bumabalik na rin yung normalcy of things that you're able to do all of these things with your friends, with your team. And again, the product, the finished products are really impressive and really inspiring. Now, speaking of impressive, etong isa rin to, hindi rin magpapatalo tong si Sofia. Yung sportswear competition mo naman, 'di ba? Alam naman namin na Eco Park CEO ka, but then you really took it the next level by doing wall climbing. At hindi lang
Yes.
basta-bastang wall climbing na na malapitan. Talagang pinakita mo yung taas
Opo.
ng wall climbing. Ano naman yung story behind that? What made you decide to do that?
Yeah, I'm a fan of hiking actually. So I've climbed, I think, more than 7 siguro na bundok from Montalban and Tanay. And I wanted to show an alternative naman for the beginners who want to go to Tanay. I want them to experience wall climbing as a first step to hiking,
Mm-hmm.
because hiking is a little bit more strenuous, it's a little bit more demanding. And I think people are gonna enjoy, the comfort that comes with the because you have a rope behind you that's pulling you, so you have that kind of comfort that if you think you're going to fall, someone's going to catch you, something like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to encourage people to come over to Tanay and even to other places in the Philippines who actually have wall climbing experiences, and maybe from that they can graduate from that and maybe go to an actual hiking experience. And I hope they can come and visit the three mountains of Barangay Cayabu actually.
Okay, now this question naman, I'd like to challenge the three of you, no? Ano naman, what is that one preliminary segment or preliminary competition that you are not most confident about, that you are really preparing for right now? If you are okay to answer that question, sige, Gail, ikaw, what is that one thing that you are not really confident at first, but then you are really working hard to prepare for it?
Well, above everything, photo shoots and all of the
Mm.
different guestings that we have, I think that the best and the most thing that I am preparing about is the intellectual part of the competition, the
Mm.
intelligence, because we really have to read a lot and really have to really portray our beliefs, our life in
Mm-hmm.
a smaller screen. So that for me is
Mm.
something that is not hard, but it's really, really challenging for all of
Correct.
us girls. Opo.
And of
Yun
course,
po.
this is a really great like exercise or practice for you. You've been like doing interviews and whatnot. This is a really great thing
Yes.
for you to, again, the exposure is one thing, but then the being able to like express your insights and opinions in the screen with your fellow candidates, it's really great practice for the three of you, definitely. Miss Manila, what about you? What are you most not confident about, but then you're really working hard and saying to yourself, Carry to, kakayanin to, go lang.
You know what? Based on everything that I have watched with the other candidates, kasi their edge is that they are surrounded by natural resources.
Mm-hmm.
They have falls, they have mountains. So for me, the very challenging part is the eco video. Is the eco video. The eco video. But then
Correct.
came like the point that I realized that, you know what, we may not have a lot of natural resources in Manila, but then we are very rich in heritage, in culture. That
Naman.
actually, so during the creation of the eco video, I really focus on the things that I can show you na masasabing, akala ko kasi ang Manila is the center of the business of this country, but then during the production of the eco video, and when I watched it, and then it came to the point that I said, ang ganda
Oo
na proud ako.
naman. You know what, Sarah? Talagang maganda ang Manila. And not because
Yes.
I am from Manila, but because
Mhm.
everything is like close to one another. You can like have
Exactly.
experience of like you can have the experience of like Chinatown on one end, and in 5 minutes you are in a Spanish area. From a Spanish area, you are in an American area. So parang
Mhm.
very varied ang Manila, and very nakaka-proud din naman, 'di ba?
Oo. Kaya during the production nga, dun ko din nakita, and I came to realize na, totoo nga no, kapag naglalakad ka sa Manila, mapupuntahan mo lahat. And lahat parang naikot mo yung buong mundo pag naglalakad ka
Correct.
sa Manila. So that's
Oo.
part ng eco video.
Very nice. Very inspiring din yun. Thank you so much for sharing that, Sarah. Si Miss Sofia Galve, what is one thing that you are not confident about, if there is anything, and then how are you working hard for it?
Mhm. So, I actually agree with Sarah. Sa eco video din ako medyo na-challenge because um Tanay has a lot of natural resources, so I have a lot to showcase. And that's a good problem for me because I have a lot to show, but I cannot show them within just 2 minutes. I actually wanted to produce a video that's longer, but since
Mm,
there's a time limit, I really just focus on the most important parts. And the challenge there for me, the thing that I'm not confident about is actually the route that I was going into because I wanted to take the video in a different kind of artistic route. And that's something that you will see when once our echo video are presented. But you will see that I took a different approach per se to the artistic and
mm,
the creative aspect of my echo video. And I'm so
mm,
happy because even though I was not really confident about my route, I actually have a very supportive team behind me, especially my video
mm.
team. Hello, Mirror Studios Incorporated. Thank you so much for helping me make my echo video a dream come true because they really made it happen for me. You know, without these creative people, my my what do you call this? My writing, my script will not really come to life. So
There
yeah, I
you
really
go.
prepared well for that. So I hope you guys can see that once our echo video are presented.
So the eco videos are going to be released very, very soon, no? Tama
Yeah.
ba?
Yes.
Exciting. My gosh. Kasi, again, pag Miss Philippines Earth or Miss Earth in general, these are the things that the fans are looking forward to because parang
Mm,
that already captures the eco video captures who you are as a whole and who you are aspiring to as a candidate and as a potential winner of Miss Philippines Earth 2021. So aabangan natin ng lahat ng ating mga Earthlings. But now, ang isa pang inaabangan ng ating mga Miss Earth Crown viewers ay ang ating main part, ang ating main and last part. Okay? Because we're challenging the ladies, I'm going to remove myself muna from camera because the three of you have to be on screen right now because it's now time for our debate. Okay, that's now time for our debate, but I'm going to have the three of you in one frame. Ayan, okay. Sa ating debate, because right now we're going to challenge our ladies to defend a certain side of this topic, okay? So the debate is going to be like this. We're going to ask the ladies to each give their opening statements, and I'm going to ask them to give their rebuttal or their opinions on the statements of their fellow candidates. Again, there are no or right answers here, just their opinions or insights on this specific topic. And our topic for episode 6 is this. In conjunction with environmental focus, which is more important for a rising economy like the Philippines to focus on? Human, social, or moral? So who's going to defend human again? Who's going to defend the human?
Me.
Sarah. And then social is Gail. Tama pala ang framing ko. And
Yes.
moral is Tanay Rizal. Ang galing naman ang framing ko pala. Okay. So our ladies will now defend their assigned sides, starting off with the opening statements, starting with Miss Manila, the human aspect. What is your opening statement?
So we are interconnected with each other. That's why I believe that human economy is very important for a rising economy such as the Philippines because there will be nothing to sustain if we will not be here anymore. That's it. I'm so sorry. Rinoy?
sure, Noy.
Sir Noy.
Sir Noy, hello po.
Sir Noy, are you with us pa?
Tayo na daw mag-host. Charot.
Tutuloy-tuloy na natin. Habang Noy, magkwentuhan na lang tayong tatlo. Ayan.
So, kamusta naman kayo?
Okay naman. Actually, nagkita kami ni Sofia last time.
Ay, totoo
Yes,
saan?
oo. Sa camp.
Nakapag-bet.
Gusto ko nagchikahan muna tayo.
Oo nga. Kasi seryoso. Sir Noy, nawala. Dahil seryoso, sige, mag-plan muna tayo. Tuloy lang natin.
Mm-mm.
And since
Galing ako sa canceled shoot kanina kasi umuulan. Ulan ng ulan sa Tanay.
Oo, dito rin sa Pampanga, ulan ng ulan.
galing din ako sa canceled shoot kanina. So,
Ako din,
Oh
cancel
my
shoot.
God.
ayan, magsabi
Lahat tayo.
luluwas ka ng Manila
Oo nga, hindi ako nakakadaan.
para makapagsabay-sabay naman tayo.
Oo, sige. Sa next visit.
Noong time na nagkasabay kami ni Sophia, medyo nakapagkwentuhan kami ng mga bagay-bagay.
Oo. Sir Noy.
Ng mga ano.
Sir Noy, galawin mo ng baso.
Yes. You're here, sir. Cortina.
Feeling ko umuulan sa kanila. Na-lost yung connection.
Umuulan sa Manila. Kanina pa.
Mm.
So talagang medyo may...
At least nga ngayon, dito sa amin tumila konti.
Pero talagang pagkaulan ng mga around 9 a.m., 9:30, hindi na tumigil. Tuloy-tuloy na
Oh
talaga.
my God. May low pressure area yata.
Feeling ko.
Kaya ba?
Nasa na tayo? Letter E? Letter F? Low pressure.
Oo. Sir Noy.
In fairness naman, sobrang gandang way of, improving your way of.
True.
I like it. Kakaiba siya.
Totoo.
Oo.
Nawawala, nasasanay ko tuloy to do the virtual pageant itself.
True,
Oo.
true.
Tapos we get
So,
to
para
meet
tayo
din
nag-
tayo.
Yes.
Diba? Chika-chika with other
So, parang-
girls.
Oo. Tsaka parang nakapag-practice na tayo for the, intellect round. For the intelligence round, di ba? Hi. Sir
Wait
Noy.
lang, nag-chat si Sir Noy. Sabi niya, I'm here. So, paano ba, Sir Noy? Tuloy-tuloy lang ba namin?
Na-lost kami doon.
Oo.
Okay, go. Parang feeling ko natawa si Sir Noy sa chikahan natin. Okay, go.
Okay.
So, should I repeat my opening statement and then...
Oo, you can para then tuloy-tuloy na natin.
And then tuloy, and then second. Okay.
So, sige, ulitin ko. So, we are interconnected with each other. That's why I believe that human economy is very important for a rising economy such as the Philippines. Because there will be nothing to sustain if we will not be here anymore. That's why I am for the human economy.
Well, for me, I believe that the most important factor for the Philippine economy to focus on is the societal needs. These are the basic needs of life, food, shelter, transport, healthcare, education. These are the core foundation for us to survive. So that I think, and I am for the societal factors of the economy.
That's great to hear, girls. So I myself actually stand for morality as the number one priority for a rising economy such as the Philippines. So I myself am a subscriber of rational thought, and I would agree to the Kantian philosophy that the humanity is the end. So as long as we are doing things for the greater good, for the humanity as the end rather than the means, I believe that I can ipso facto argue that morality can actually cover the needs for human and societal needs. So I believe in the morality as our number one priority.
Ayan, rinig na ba ako, girls?
Yes, Sir
Yes
Noy!
po. Namiss namin
Welcome
kayo.
back to me. Ayan. Maraming salamat sa opening statement. Now, I'd like to hear, ano naman ang masasabi? Sarah, what can you say about what Gail and Sophia mentioned about their opening statements? Any insights or opinions on what they mentioned?
Actually, everything naman is very important when it comes to the environment. But then, of course, nature has its own life. But then, we cannot dictate themselves on what to do and where the importance of human enters.
There you go. What about Gail? What is your opinion about what Sarah mentioned?
Yes, I agree that every factor is important. But as of the moment, this pandemic has been our wake-up call. we actually realized that there is something that is lacking in our society, and that is our healthcare system. You know, because it is hard enough to actually battle something that is invisible with our naked eye, but it is also harder to actually battle something without proper funding, proper manpower, proper institutions. So that for me is something that we need to focus on, the immediate concern of our economy today.
Okay, so Ms. Tanay, Ms. Angeles City mentioned that healthcare system is of utmost importance because we are dealing with an invisible enemy. What is your opinion on that?
Yes, so as I said, ipso facto, morality can actually argue for that as well. It can actually stand for that as well. So, for example, if our government relies on a rational thought, kind of decision making process, it can actually produce a healthcare system that really cares for the people, for the welfare of all Filipinos. And that is why I believe that morality is the core of it all. It starts within the human intent to do good for a lot of our Filipino fellow men.
There you go. So, Miss Manila, Miss Tanay Rizal mentioned that we need a rational thinking to make great decisions as a government. What is your opinion on that in relation to human aspect of a rising economy like the Philippines?
Of course, we should instill to us that morality is important, but then human economy such as our growth and the process to build and to focus on businesses that will help us to sustain the life and the lives of other people is at far most important above all else.
Wow. Okay. What is your opinion on that, Miss Angeles City? That we need to build and we need progress so that we can like attain that certain level of development in our country in relation to your side, social development.
Again, we have to really focus on the society and focus on building more social welfare, such as the healthcare system, such as different funding when it comes to unemployment. So basically, as for me, I was able to experience this, and as a medical scientist myself, I've seen through my own eyes the hardships that our medical professionals are actually battling with. So we have to focus on this and give them enough focus just for now, just for this time of the pandemic, and then it will have a ripple effect on the businesses and as well on the morale of the people.
Okay. One last, Mr. Rizal. Ms. Angeles City keeps on emphasizing the need to focus on the medical aspect of the Philippines because this is, again an imperative issue that we need to work on. What is your take on that in connection to your side, which is the moral aspect or growth of our society?
I believe that we all have our own free will, and there's something that we call intrapersonal communication. Actually, that is what I am actually advocating for outside of my environmental advocacy. I want everyone to look at their selves. It's intrapersonal communication. Look at yourself, evaluate your morals. What can you do that can change the whole landscape of the Philippines? So, for example, for the people again in the government who are the ones that we rely on, what can they do from their hearts, from their minds, that can actually make a change, make an impact for the healthcare system that Gail really believes in and we all actually believe in. So I believe that everything starts with ourselves, especially with our mindset. If we focus on on the right mindset, on the right morals of rationality, as long as we focus on that, I believe that the Philippines will be, and it is already a great country, but I believe it can be even better.
There you
Thank you.
go. Again, this is going to be your closing statement. Miss Manila, what is your closing statement in relation to this topic of human, social, or moral development? The floor is yours.
So, in conjunction with environmental focus, I am saying that human economy is very important because there will no one to do the job but us. So, sustaining our lives to continually develop the growing population, the growing businesses, and for us to sustain our developing country, it is a far most important to have us, the people, to do our job for our environment.
Thank you so much. Let's now hear the closing statement of Miss Angeles City.
Well, for me, life itself is the far more important thing to focus on. Because right now we are battling life, and because of the COVID-19 pandemic, we have seen how life could easily be taken away from us in just a blink of an eye. So before we focus on other things, we have to focus on nurturing life itself. We have to give funding to food, to healthcare, to education, and all of the core values that we believe in, that we need to focus on in order for us to survive. Because what is the mere essence of an economy? It is for the people to survive. And that for me is something that is something we have to battle with and we have to win. So, in conjunction to everything, societal needs, moral needs, and as well as the human needs, all of them should work together, hand in hand, in order for us to see a thriving economy in conjunction with an environmental focus in mind. Thank you.
And one last, Miss Tanay Rizal, what is your closing
Sorry.
statement for this debate topic?
For my closing statement, I want to encourage my fellow Filipinos to focus on yourselves and evaluate what you stand for. Look at your moral values and rethink, because I feel like the Philippines has been sleeping on its talents for a long, long time. And I believe that we can rediscover and liven up these talents of ours if we just really look at ourselves and see what we can do from within, because I believe that ourselves, our own thought processes are actually the microcosm of what is actually happening out there in the world. And so I believe that you guys should try to introspect and look at yourselves and believe in the power of your individuality and morality. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our mini debate for tonight. Palakpakan naman. Grabe. Kamusta naman, ladies? You know what? Personally, I think that was one of the snappiest and one of the best debates that we've had so far. Maraming
Wow!
salamat. Ayan, eto nga,
Ang
o yung mga fans,
gagaling.
eto yung mga fans natin, feeling ko fan na sila ng ME. Ako din, feeling ko rin kanina, dire-diretso. Bumubula ang mga bibig ng mga kandidata natin tonight. My gosh, okay. So, once again, congratulations, ladies, for a job well done sa ating topic. Again, specifically, we were thinking of this topic for the three of you because very perfect sa inyong values, sa inyong background, sa inyong pinaglalaban as candidate to Miss Philippines Earth. And again, kudos because you did a great job on this one. Congratulations! And now, to all of the fans, siguro basahin lang natin a little bit ang ating mga comments no before I give you the final word for tonight. Meron mga comments coming from the fans. Sabi ni Dulce Amor, Roldan Alberto Gomez Angeles City. Sabi rin dito ni Josh Bayabo, grabe ang talino. I agree. Ang tatalino ng mga ladies natin for tonight. Napaka-powerful din ng mga sagot. Meron din syempre gustong sabihin si TJ Clements, Gale for the Earth, sabi niya. Sabi rin dito ni Miss Tintin, Lisondra Tiempo, Tanay nailed it. Ayan. At sinabi pa dito ni Josh talaga, dapat itong three na ito ang i-coach yung mga dating guest. Grabe ka naman, Josh. Grabe ka sa sinabi mo na yan. Magaling naman silang lahat. Pero personally, I think this is one of the best batches sa debate natin for Miss Earth Crowns episodes. Ayan. Kasi dire-diretso yung kanila, very snappy yung kanilang mga statements di ba? Sabi rin dito ni Naomi Galve. Who's Naomi Galve? Sofia?
My sister!
Ang isang
My
sisterette
sister,
nanonood.
hi!
Hello, sister. Ayan. Sinasabi rin niya na go din si ate, no? And then we also have here si May the best woman on earth win, sabi dito ng ating mga fans. And of course, maraming salamat again to all of our Earthlings for watching for tonight.
Thank you.
This has been a really great discussion. Alam mo, I never thought having 3 guests is going to be this much fun. Akala ko mahirap dahil ang dami ninyo, pero mas masaya pala dahil 3 kayo. Lalo na kapag nawawala ang host, parang may host pa rin dahil 3 kayo na nasa frame. At
Nawalan ako ng voice doon.
nakakatawa yung mga fans. Sabi kanina, Sir No, igalaw mo ang baso. Nakikita ko yung mga comments. At nung bumalik
Medyo
ako,
nag-panic kami dun eh.
oo, at yung mga fans natin, hinahanap din ako. Nung bumalik ako, natuwa rin sila. Pero were handling that part with class and so much poise as well. Nakakatawa naman kayong tingnan kanina. Now, speaking of nakakatuwa mang isipin na this has been a really great discussion. But again, all good things must come to an end, no? Gusto ko man sanang extend to, pero medyo OA na, no? 1 hour and 12 minutes na. Kailangan na natin i-end ito. But I have a feeling I am going to see, if not the three of you, but some of you very, very soon in our episodes in Miss Earth Crown. But I'd like to give the floor now to all of you for your final word. Again, final word in terms of like thanking your fans, thanking your supporters, and inviting all of the Earthlings to the upcoming events of Miss Philippines Earth 2021. Starting off with Miss Angeles City, Gail Ventic.
Yes, po. Thank you so much to everyone. I would like to take this opportunity to thank my team, Team Pampanga and K Familia, for all the love and the support. The journey to Miss Philippines Earth is really not easy. It is hard and rigorous, but at least we are already halfway there. Also, I would like to invite everyone to watch our upcoming events. I believe tomorrow it's going to be the Beauty of Face, 4 p.m. live at Miss Philippines Earth Facebook page and YouTube page. So I hope to see you there.
My gosh, Beauty of Face na pala, the most anticipated
Beauty of Face.
preliminary competition. Let's now move on to Miss Manila. The floor is yours. What is now your final word for our fans?
Of course, I'd like to thank Miss Earth Crown for the opportunity, for this huge opportunity for us to be able to share with you our advocacies, as well as to share the other advocacies of my sisters here. And of course, my Team Manila, with my videographer, my camera, my production, my stylist, everyone with Team Manila and the LGU of Manila for helping me out with all the permits, and of course the DI Philippines for backing me up and supporting me all the way. And sabi nga ni Gail kanina, we are halfway there. And tuloy-tuloy lang po kayo sa pagsuporta ng inyong mga favorite eco candidates, and tune in to our Beauty of Face tomorrow, 4 p.m. So maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat.
Maraming salamat din, Miss Manila. And of course, right now, let's have Miss Tanay Rizal when I get to push this control. Miss Tanay Rizal, sige. Ayan. The
Yes.
floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Yes, first of all, thank you so much, Sir Noy and to Miss Earth Crown for having the three of us. It's an amazing experience. Aside from being able to share our advocacies, I was also able to have some bonding time with my fellow sisters. Thank you so much. And of course, thank you so much to my core team, Tito Alvin, Mami Shai. Thank you so much for being there for me always. And of course, my hairstylist King, to my head admin at Tintin. Thank you so much to Team Tanay, headed by Dr. Jeff Pino of our LGU Tourism. And of course, to Sir Henry Reyes, who has been coordinating all of my venues. Thank you so much po. And of course, to my family, Papa, Mama, Naomi, my sister, thank you so much for everything. And of course, thank you for all of the fans out there, my friends and my families, my relatives. Thank you so much for always being behind me in my journeys, in my battles. And of course, I would also like to invite you in our next competitions, for example, the Beauty of Face again tomorrow. And of course, I think we're going to have the long gown competition on Wednesday at 7 p.m. So thank you so much, everyone. And I hope that you all guys are safe. Thank you.
Alright. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, ba't naging mukha ko yung nandun sa may frame? Ayan, dapat nawala si si Gail. Anyway, Gail, I hope you can come back. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been your Power Saturday episode with our three candidates for Miss Philippines Earth. Let's have a huge round of applause for Miss Manila, Miss Tanay Rizal, and si Miss Angela City biglang nawala. But then, thank you pa rin, Gail, for being with us. This has been a great episode, and good luck sa inyong Beauty of Face at 4 p.m. tomorrow. That's a really big preliminary competition judging na mangyari only on Miss Philippines Earth. And I think tomorrow we also have Episode 7. Tuloy-tuloy lang po ang ating coverage of Miss Philippines Earth here on Miss Earth Crown with 3 candidates for the crown for 2021. This has been Noy Sabelano for Miss Earth Crown saying good night and have a great weekend, everyone. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
you for watching.
Have a good night.
Weekend.
Salamat po.
Maraming salamat po. I'm gonna end the broadcast soon. Ayan. Just a hanging laptop. Kaway-kaway lang.
Bye, sis. Bye, Sof.
Bye, Sarah. See you soon.
Sige
Sige.
po. Bye, everyone. Alright. When I get to end it. Sige, girls, you may leave the stream if medyo matagal, no? Bye, everyone.
Bye, 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 bye.
Bye-bye.